Hey, it's George Fourie. Welcome back to another Martial Arts Media Business Podcast. Today, I'm going to be talking about signing up students with dead leads. Dead leads or leads that you have just forgotten about, leads that have inquired, they never signed up, or you were having a conversation with them and they ghosted you or just disappeared. Or perhaps you have those old students that left, unless they left, on bad terms and you don't want them back. But otherwise, just students that left and, something life got in the way and you didn't hear from them again and they left. So we're going to talk about a few simple strategies to restart the conversations with those dead leads, old students that have left. Super simple, but super profitable. Hang around to the end. I've got a great resource for you, a PDF that we call Conversation Carrots. It's one of the most popular resources we have in our partners program. Real simple way to engage and start conversations. I'll give you the details at the end of the podcast, how to access that. All right, let's jump in. All right, before we get into the good stuff, a quick life update for any of you that have followed the podcast for a while and know that I haven't posted much on social in a while and done a podcast. This will take 30 seconds approximately. So I'm recording this in 2023, February. In October last year, we decided to move the family from Perth to the Sunshine Coast. If you're not from Australia, that's equivalent moving from San Diego to New York. It's that far, and that's what we did. What decided the move? Well, in mid last year, we came here on holiday. I was hosting our first Partners Intensive, which is an event that we run for our partners group, and we came on holiday the week before. Absolutely loved it here, loved the beaches, just loved the vibe of it. And we decided we wanted to do something new, that I'm closer to host events on this side of the country, but also closer to the States for travel and events that we want to host over there. And so we made the big move. That's it. Now we're back and on track. The other thing that's been keeping us busy the last couple of months is onboarding new clients and just working on a few cool things that I'm going to be announcing in the next month, couple of weeks or so. Update done. All right, let's jump into the good stuff. So how to sign up students from dead leads. All right, so let's look at a few scenarios. You have leads piled up in your messenger. If you collect leads via Facebook Messenger, perhaps you have inquiries via Messenger, or you have them from your website. So you have email leads, you have them in your database, preferred. We'll talk about that maybe a little bit. Maybe people that walked in and you took down their details, whatever the scenario, you had people that were inquired but never joined. Now, if you had to track back the last few months, the last few years, how many of these people do you have in your database? If you still have them, we got a few cool things that we can do with them, and I'll chat about that in just a bit. All right, so these perfect prospects inquired, but they never joined. Now, I guess a dangerous thing for us to do is to make some assumptions about them, that they inquired, but now they're just not interested. Well, it could be, but it could also be just something else happened that we can't control. Life got in the way. Maybe they were tied up in some other engagement and they just haven't let go of it. Or maybe it's something deeper, right? There's a fear of what this whole martial arts thing is about, and they're just not comfortable stepping up and taking action on starting their training yet. Or one more option could be they just don't know who you are, and they're just not sure about you. So they're just still doing a bit of their research, Googling about, having a look, trying to see if they can talk to people, following, stalking you on all your social profiles, etc. That's them. Now, we could put them in the category of, look, they didn't inquire the first time, and why would we need to talk to them? I mean, they inquired and they're not interested. Well, as we just discussed, that maybe is just not the case. And so your prospects are going to fall into one of two categories. They're either ready now or they're not ready now. And the majority are probably not ready now. And so it's important that we capitalize on the ones that are ready to join, but then there's also the big bulk of prospects that come into your world and they're just not ready. Now, if you're doing paid Facebook advertising or any Google advertising, any marketing for that matter, you've invested some money into getting these leads. And so it's important that you have a marketing strategy that doesn't just cater for those that are ready now, but also those that are in your pipeline that might join later. So I want to talk about that strategy. So when you have people in your pipeline, well, how do you restart the conversation? Here's what I think is a bad way to do it. A bad way, from my perspective, would just be to shove more offers down their throat. Never asking any questions, never starting a conversation, and just making offer to offer to offer. Now, that might happen, but your chances of repulsing them and exiting your world by about offer number 2 or 3 is very, very likely. So what is a better way to do it? Well, let's look at how conversions work. Typically, before your prospects start training and start joining, there is a conversation, right? There's got to be a conversation that's going to lead to them getting started. So if it's all about conversations, and we've spoken about this before, then why don't we just sell more conversations? Because conversations will lead to the actual conversions. So how do we start conversations? How do we sell more conversations on email and socials? Well, it's really, really simple. And we've spoken about these on a few podcast episodes. I believe on podcast episode number 44 is we start a conversation. We ask a real simple question. Now, there's a lot of names for these. People call them 9-word emails. We used to call them a bullet boomerang because, a bullet sort of pierces through and then comes back, the conversation. But they've been termed in our partners group as conversation carrots. Conversation carrots meaning it's conversation, they're like something that you're dangling to start a conversation. And so, if you think of a carrot in front of a donkey, it's kind of like bait. Well, I don't want to see it as bait, but it's a real simple way to start a conversation. We call these conversation carrots. And if you want to download these conversation carrots, you can just go to this podcast episode, which is martialartsmedia.com/140 for number 140. Just click the resources tab and you can download these. So conversation carrots is a real simple way for you to start the conversations. Start the conversations that can lead to a higher level conversation of, are they ready to get started? So we divide these into a few categories. Mainly it could be super direct. Are you still interested in training martial arts? That's super direct. But it could also be a bit more low level, meaning a situational type question. It could be, how old is your child who's looking to start training martial arts? Anything that really sparks the conversation. And so if you have a list of prospects or, whether it's on email or messenger or text message, you could just send out these little conversation carrots because all that they are doing is they are there to start a conversation. That's it. A good way to complicate this is to give the answer already and say, are you still interested in martial arts? Insert offer here. No. Now you've just given away the whole reason why you sent this message, and it kind of destroys the whole purpose of it. So keep it super simple, make it conversational. So if you have old prospects and also students that have stopped training with you, they also fall under this category. So students that trained, maybe you're changing seasons and it's between years, like going from one season to the next or one year to the next. It's a great way to just send out a message and see if you can re-spark the interest. Start the conversation. Conversation leads to conversion. A follow-up strategy that we do after this, we call this our 4-day student scale campaign. And this is a 4-day email strategy that helps sign people up. So this is a bit more working with a strategic, irresistible martial arts offer, and then creating a strict deadline, and then a 4-day email sequence that we have that sign people up. So I want you to share what can get you started. martialartsmedia.com/140. Download the conversation carrots. That'll get you started. Go grab all those old leads that haven't joined, all those old students, and take this sheet from the conversation carrots and send out that message. Start a conversation. And when you sign up your first student from this, do me a favor and please let me know. Tag me in one of the social posts on Facebook or wherever you're watching this, or send us a message from martialartsmedia.com and let me know when you sign up your next student from this super simple strategy. Awesome. And if you got some value out of this, please do me a favor. If you can share this just share this with a martial arts school owner that you feel will get some great value from this. And we've also just revamped our Facebook group for martial arts school owners, the Martial Arts Media Business Community. You can access that at martialartsmedia.group. So not .com. You can just go martialartsmedia.group. That'll take you to our Facebook group. Request to join, just answer a couple of questions, jump in there, and I look forward to seeing you inside the community. Speak soon. Cheers.